herself in the bathroom. At first, the town sympathized with her, the poor, lone survivor, trembling in shock, surrounded by the bodies of everyone she ever loved. But as the detectives walked through the blood-soaked house, they noticed things that didn't add up. Why was there no forced entry? The locks were intact. Why was the expensive jewelry still on the dresser? Robbers don't leave gold behind. And most chilling of all, how did Sarah survive a massacre that wiped out 7 people without a single scratch on her body? Her clothes were suspiciously clean for someone who had just discovered a slaughter. The breakthrough came from the phone records. In the dark hours of the night, while her family was supposedly being killed by strangers, Sarah's phone was busy. She had exchanged over 50 calls with one person, Jack. When police brought them in for interrogation, the Romeo and Juliet facade crumbled. Confronted with the cold, hard evidence, they turned on each other. And finally, the gruesome truth of what actually happened that night. It wasn't robbers, it was them. In their confession, the details were nightmares made real. Jack admitted that he arrived around 1:30 a.m. He didn't break in. Sarah opened the door. In his hand, he carried a heavy woodcutter's axe. Sarah, the teacher who taught children how to read, led her lover from room to room. She didn't look away. In fact, she helped. She confessed that she would grab the hair of her sleeping father, pulling his head back to expose the neck so Jack could swing the axe. They moved methodically. First the father, then the mother, then the brothers. It was a systematic execution. 6 people were dead, but they weren't finished. In the corner of the bedroom lay the youngest member of the family, Sarah's 10-month-old nephew, Timmy. The noise had woken him up. He was crying, standing in his crib, confused and terrified. Jack hesitated. He looked at Sarah. This was a baby, but Sarah's face was stone cold. She reportedly told him he cannot remain alive. He will cry and alert the neighbors. When Jack couldn't bring himself to swing the axe at an infant, Sarah stepped forward. With her own bare hands, she strangled the baby until the crimes stopped. The trial was swift and brutal. The jury was shown the photos of the crime scene, images so graphic that some jurors had to look away. But the image that sealed their fate was the autopsy of the 10-month-old baby. The judge called it a case of depravity beyond human comprehension. Sarah and Jack were both sentenced to death. Today, Sarah sits on death row, waiting for her execution date. She is set to be the first woman executed in the state since independence. The house in Willow Creek still stands empty and rotting. Locals say no one wants to buy it. They say that if you walk past it at night, you don't hear ghosts. You just hear the terrifying silence of a family that slept through their own murder.